You're right there, Mark here. A quick discussional off-the-cuff video about something is happening at Night Models. Okay, so you go onto Google, type in Night Models, bring up your search here, and you're like, something is happening. You click on it. It's just an image. Alright, it's just an image, I believe. Save as. Yeah, it's just a web page image. Okay. So it says Night Model something is happening, which is good. Is good because their website was not in the best of places. It was very clunky. There was a period of time where when you first opened up the site, it went 404 would not connect for like half the page. You had to then re-click the home page at the top of the window to then open up the page. So there was something wrong with the code in XYZ, the behind the scenes. There was something very wrong. Listings weren't easy to find. It was just very, very clunky, very inefficient. Not very good for customers. Now, this happened yesterday, okay, of the time of recording this in the morning. Now, some hopes I've been floating around like people do. People in the hobby, wargaming hobby, they'll have hopes and stuff like that. Some are going, oh, DC's license are losing it. Some are saying, oh, are they going to be fixed? They've completed the Game of Thrones rules. Oh, is it a new edition of Batman or DC or anything like that? Because their three games are IP. They don't own the intellectual rights to those games. You got the DC Batman system, you got the Game of Thrones systems, and then you've got the Harry Potter system. Okay, so they are owned by respective people. So they do the games on their behalf, licensing, payments, XYZ. Okay, don't need to go into it. We may do that in a future video. Okay, so thing I could be hoping for is due to the DC cinematic universe having its revamp with the latest Superman movie. Vast majority of the feel behind it's gone down well. Okay, not going to go into that in this video, but it seems to have gone in a good direction. And James Gunn and the other people at Warner Brothers seem to have a more of a distinct direction that they want to take the DC cinematic universe compared to previously. It was feeling a bit all over the place. Okay, some of the head ones up there were stepping on each other's toes. Okay, so there is, light at the end of the tunnel for that. So they may be in talks to the people at Night Models going, this is the direction we're taking it. Can you develop the games to go along this? Maybe a new version of the DC game. However, doubt that because they've obviously moved their DC game onto my mini factory, which I backed. But that doesn't stop it being the Batman side. Okay, but as I said, this is more like behind the scenes, could be, couldn't be, so on and so forth. Obviously, them having a look at Game of Thrones, maybe they had to pull back to actually figure out what they needed to do. Maybe they were trying to spin too many plates at the same time. Things happen. Not giving them excuses, but things do happen. There has supposedly been people that have gone to Madrid, gone to their headquarters to get replacement parts and stuff for miniatures, and seen that their warehouse is full of stock, and they've inquired and they've said, don't worry, it's all in the pipeline, such as the Batman miniature games app and other things, which has been down for a long time. I went and done a video on that some time ago. So as I said, this is all hyperboles. The most sound theory behind this now, with something is happening, is they've got someone or someone's, plural, in to fix the site, to give it an overhaul. because this feels like it's an external firm that's fixing it for one major reason. There's no branding on this. There's no branding of Night Models. It's a generic, it feels like it's a generic firm that's been hired to come in to fix and overhaul and refresh their site. Okay? Because if it was more in-house refreshing, I personally would expect branding and stuff to go on it. Okay? Like, say for example, if things go down on Games Workshop or Warlord or TT Combat or Corvus Belli, right? They have the page and it's their branding on it, because in theory it's people they have on their payroll sorting out the website internally. This feels like it could be a reputable firm. I'm not slighting the people that are working on this. I don't know. This could be a reputable firm in Spain that is doing it for them, that they've hired out, like agency staff. They've hired out because they're like, we don't know how to make this work on this website, this update we want to do. We've got this firm. That's what I'm thinking it is. And a few others have thought that as well, because there is no branding on it. And I do think it is much needed. As I said, the website was clunky. It didn't work. You couldn't utilize it smoothly. You go onto the main website and it was like 404. You had to click on stuff and then it will go onto the website. Because the last time they actually updated anything on Facebook, social platforms and stuff, was back in May for Game of Thrones. Like, there was quite a bit of updating over Christmas and Black Friday. New models, their Frontier thing on DC that I mentioned. But it did bring a lot of concern to people that are big avid fans of Night Models products, myself included, where it felt like it's the death throes again of Night Models. They are not the best for keeping things above the water, shall we say. Okay? So it's all more hyperbole. The Night Models haven't came out and said anything. As I said, I backed their DC Frontiers project when it was done. So I'm in the process of printing and painting stuff myself when I do have 5 minutes piece, such as like Mr. Diorama Superman. You know, I'm currently working on a demo set for Batman to take to GriffCon. Slowly but surely. You know, things happen. So I do want whatever they're doing to be successful. I do want that because I do know some people have said in the comments and things like that, Night Models should lose the license to DC and Batman and things like that, and it should be picked up by the ones that make MCP and Shatterpoint and stuff like that. And I'm not poo-pooing them, okay? They make a good system. Marvel Crisis Protocol, Shatterpoint, stuff like that. My concern is it's this monopoly thing. If it's all in one business, they then control the price of it and the marketing and stuff like that. It's like, oh, if you want to play skirmish things that are comic related, you can't really go anywhere else. You've got to pay for us or play our system. Whereas if there are a few firms that do this kind of comic book skirmish based war game, there's competition. Okay, there is competition, and I genuinely do think Night Models need to come out. They need to come out swinging and be consistent and really work with the community. Okay, because I will give flack to firms out there that make bad business decisions, but I will give them praise when they actually do use the community and show things off, and you know, get the hype going and things like that. Whereas Night Model, they've just put their head, it feels like they put their head in the sand and they go, la 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 la, we got things that we need to do, which they may have things that need to do, but they need to communicate it. They need to talk. And this is the same for all these wargaming hobby and businesses. Just talk to the community. And I'm not saying before anyone says it, because I can imagine people say, oh, businesses don't want to share off their dirty laundry. Yeah, you don't need to say everything. But you keep them informed in the big choices. oh, there's a big update coming, there's this coming, there's that coming. Actually communicate it. You don't need to show the dirty laundry of every business decision. I'm not saying that, but keep them informed. Keep them feeling like they're actually important to you as a business. But yes, as I said, comment down below what you genuinely think this is. Okay? What you think it is and why. I'm curious about it. Okay, as I said, on Facebook, there's a few people floating around their personal ideas, what they would like it to be. I've said a few myself. I genuinely do think it is a firm that they've hired out to come in to revamp, maybe modernize the website, get it fixed, and then that's the launch. It'll be a launch. It may be a launch of a new box set. Okay, them going, oh, here's 4.0 for Batman, or however they're going to word it. Okay, or DC, or Game of Thrones, or whatever. But yes, comment down below. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with people in this that enjoy this hobby, because I'm going to be honest, when it comes to Wargaming, if it ain't Games Workshop, it kind of doesn't go anywhere on YouTube. Alright, so any help is very much appreciated. I want to do a steady little thing about Batman all the time. As I said, maybe once a month or things like that. But that's the honest truth of the matter. If it ain't Games Workshop, it doesn't go anywhere. Alright? Or it really struggles to. Really, really struggles to. But anyway, gonna love you and leave you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so very much for watching through to the end of me rambling. But yes, see you around. If you've enjoyed the video and the content on the channel, why not throw a subscribe? And if you do so, don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be notified of all future content coming out. But on top of that, we have YouTube memberships now, starting from as little as £1 a month. All pennies go to supporting the channel, and you get plenty of rewards in the process. Thank you again, and I'll catch you in the next one.